Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. We are in the entry stage of Vishnu Sahasranamam. For a moment, let us recollect the setting and how we have reached this stage. You may recall one fine day, early morning, Yudhishthira saw Sri Krishna was in deep meditation and he was extremely surprised. Why the Lord of the world should be in dhyana? And Sri Krishna had told him that Bhishma was lying in the battlefield, has gathered his senses in his mind. He has gathered his mind and his intellect. He has gathered the intellect in his Atma. And his Atma he has now, in his heart, he has now enshrined me. So by the power of his contemplation, he has captured Sri Krishna at that time. So when you think of the Lord in this manner, then the Lord thinks of you. And then Sri Krishna has told Yudhishthira and others that he is now Bhishma is now wanting to give up his body. And before he gives up his body, you must go to him. You must go to him and get all your doubts on dharma clarified from him. Because with the departure of Bhishma from this world, he says the Seema Vriksha of Dharma would have fallen. The boundary tree. This is Dharma, that is not Dharma, that boundary. Who can explain that boundary? Bhishma. And that is how they have all come. And we saw initially when Krishna tells Bhishma that Yudhishthira has come, he has a lot of doubts. You should clarify for him. And then he, in great pain, he says to Sri Krishna that I'm not even able to speak, so to say. Much pain, he's lying on that bed of arrows for so many days now. The world is setting around me, he says. I can't. Everything is setting now. He is now wanting to give up. And then Sri Krishna runs his eyes over his body. And Bhishma says, sees strength coming back to him. And he tells Sri Krishna that I feel like a young man again, as strong as a yuva. Then he starts explaining all the dharma. So, we saw a list of things that, a sort of a sample list of areas that he touched upon in the first part of Shanti Parva, which was in Raja Anushasana Dharma Parva last time. Then we stopped there. Because we were in the process of explaining Shrutva Dharman Asheshena. that Yudhishthira has heard the totality of dharma. Pavanani cha sarvasha. Each one of them is cleansing. Yudhishthira shantanamam punarevabhya bhashata. Yudhishthira is once again has a question to ask to Bhishma. That's where. So, in that context, we were saying, what is it that they have heard? Some part of it. And this entire thing has been told in the presence of Sri Krishna himself. And our elders have said that whoever your Ishtadevam is included in Vishnu Sahasranamam. If it is Shiva, then his names are there. Shiva is there himself. Sthanu is there. Soma is there. Shambhu is there. If it is Surya, if it is the sun, Surya itself is there. Aditya is there. Bhanu is there. Savita is there. Like that. If it is Kumara, if you are a Kartikeya, Muruga Bhakta, Skanda is there. Guha is there. If you are a Shakta, Devi, Upasaka, Mahashakti is there. If Vinayaka to starting, it's a Shuklamardhanam Vishnu, Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam, Prasannavadhanam Dhyayet, Sarvignopasanti. Vishnu and in same verse they are together, so to say, it's the same, this one and that is this. Prasannavadhanam, Prasanna is a Amarakosha, it is one of the names of the elephant. Prasannavadhanam is elephant faced. Elephant is supposed to be, one of the names, one of the synonyms of elephant is happy, Prasanna. And if you are a devotee of Ayyappan, Shasta is there, like that they say. So many are there. And it is the ultimate treatise on dharma in the sense, as we saw, it is being told by Bhishma, who is the Sima Vriksha of dharma. Yudhishthira, who is Dharmaputra. In the presence of Sri Krishna, who is Dharmadhyaksha. In fact, one of the names of comes to Vishnu Sahasranamam is Dharma itself. Dharma is Vishnu. Vishnu is Dharma. That is Sri Krishna standing here. In fact, when the Draupadi disrobing incident is described in Bharata, some of you may recall that the dress that she gets is none other than Dharma. It is Dharma that becomes the dress. Dharmo rakshati rakshita. So it is told by the Sima Vriksha of Dharma to Dharmaputra in the presence of Dharmadhyaksha. And where is it told? In Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra. Each Nama is a mantra in the Sahasranamam. We saw how great, many commentaries have been written on it. Shankara, Bhattar, Parasara Bhatta, we had a little look at last time. We say Bhatta also is Bana Bhatta. Bana Bhatta is one of the greatest writers, prose poetry writers in Sanskrit ever. Kadambari is a classic. In Kadambari, he talks about Vishnu Sahasranama as well. Bana Bhatta. And he says that in the Sutika Graha, what is Sutika Graha? The confinement room where a childbirth happens. The chanting of Vishnu Sahasranama makes for safe and easy delivery. That is another thing that they say. And not just that, the child will be righteous and famous and yashasvi and all that. All right. So now we come back to where we were last time. We saw a list of items that he heard in the first part of Shanti Parva in Raja Anushasana Dharma Parva. What all? Then next was Apad Dharma Parva. I will not go into that much. It deals with the dharma that you need to resort to when you are in peril. When you are in peril, then a different set of rules apply than when you are in prosperity. So dharma is according to time and situation. Right? Apad Dharma for a king. You are routed, you are surrounded, you are about to be killed. then a different set of rules will apply. Apad Dharma. Then the third part of Shanti Parva was Moksha Dharma Parva. So let's have a quick look at some sample list of items that were addressed in Moksha Parva. It's a big Parva, but we're looking at a small set. It's a lot of stories there. It's a lot where Shuka and Vyasa talk. There's so many others in that Parva about Moksha Dharma. Some of the things that are covered there is the law of karma, the karma phala, how fruits of karma are about fruits of karma, then about the creation of this world from undifferentiated Brahman, how the macrocosm comes about, how the individual jiva comes about, what is the different bodies of a human being, the stula, the gross body which we know, the sukshma sharira inside, and the karana sharira, all that, those. Then the explanation of the Atma Tattva as a part, the self as a part from the Sharira, Indriya, Mana apparatus that we think we are. Then about dream state of a human being, deep sleep state, all that. Then about Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga, the way of the world and the way of renunciation. Atma, then the method of realizing the self, the Sakshatkara Upaya of Paramatma and Atma. Explanations about that. Then about Adhyatma Jnanam, about Dhyana Yogam, about Japa Yagya, about Sankhya Yoga, all that is explained in detail. Then about sadhana and the defects that a sadhaka might have. What are all the defects that you and I have? Even though we are seekers, the defects of a sadhaka are elaborated. What are the obstacles to jnana? Is told. Sadhana itself, different types of sadhana are explained. Vrata, vows taken for doing various things. Tapasya, upavasa, fasts that are taken by people, that people undergo. Then ahimsa as a dharma, non-violence as a dharma, brahmacharya as a dharma. These are all sadhana. These are all necessary parts of sadhana. Then vairagya, the virakti, the dispassion, kamana tyaga, the renunciation of all desires, asakti tyaga, the renunciation of all attachments, all that is explained. Then is explained mrityu, what is death? What is the process of death? What happens when you die? How to overcome death? All that is explained. There are a lot of Gitas in it, in the Moksha Dharma Parva. There is Monkey Gita, there is Parashara Gita, there is Hamsa Gita, there are quite a few Gitas in it. So there's a quick look at Moksha Dharma Parva. Total Shanti Parva, that is Raja Anushasana Dharma Parva, Abad Dharma Parva, Moksha Dharma Parva, put together is around 15,000 verses. All told by Bhishma over Yudhishthira. And he is not done with it. It continues in the next one where it's Anushasanika Parva. In Anushasanika Parva, Vishnu Sahasranama comes, but before Vishnu Sahasranama, what comes? So many things comes. Huge Dana Dharma Parva is there. Or Dana. Detail about Atiti Satkara, or what you have to do. So importantly mentioned, Atiti Satkara. Practically nowadays we don't know our neighbors also. Neither do we care. Again, karma phala it's talked about. Then he talks very importantly about the superiority of free will over fate. Purushartha over Devam. Don't think you're a victim of circumstances. You have a role to play. Talks about where all does Lakshmi, prosperity, reside, where does she not reside. There comes, in Anushasanika Parva also comes Shiva Sahasranamam. He talks about Tirtha Mahima, various rivers, Ganga Mahima, the glory of the Ganges. Talks about Dharma important dharma of Stri Raksha, how women should be protected in a kingdom. And Vivaha dharma, about wedding as a dharma. Then a lot of detail on Go Mahima, about cow, the protection of cows. There is a Nachiketa story comes here in Bharatam. Nachiketa's overcoming death. The story of Muruga comes again. Kartikeya Utpatti comes again here. It comes earlier in Bharatam as well. It comes again. Tarakasura Vadam comes again. Then Shraddha Karma is explained. Titi Nakshatram, various things about Shraddha. Grihasthashrama Dharma, Upavasa, then about the demerits of Himsa, of violence, the demerits of Mamsa Bhakshanam, eating meat, is explained. There's Shiva Parvati Samvada. Shiva and Parvati Samvada is told by Bhishma to Yudhishthira. Shiva Parvati Samvada on various Dharma Rahasya matters. Then various types of dana, Swarna dana, gold danam, Godanam, that is cow being given, Bhumi danam, the gifting of land, Kanyadanam, the daughter's marriage, Vidyadanam, teaching, all the glory of all of these danam. Then about death and Punarjanma, then about Moksha Dharma, then about Vairagya Pradhanata, in Moksha, in attaining, trying for salvation, the main thing is Vairagya Pradhanata is explained. Then Pashupata Yoga is explained and Shivalinga Mahima is explained, Shivalinga Puja Mahatmya is explained. Then Parvati and Shiva have a conversation on Stri Dharma, which Shiva tells Parvati to tell. Because he says only if a lady tells about Stri Dharma, will another lady listen to it? If I tell it, who will listen? He says, it's a very nice chapter. You only know, so you only tell. So she tells. After that is Sri Krishna Mahatmya, and then comes Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam. So we come back to where we were in the first shloka, that he asks, Vaishampayana tells Janmejaya, Shutva dharma nasheshena pavanani cha sarvashaha Yudhishthira shantanavam punareva abhyabhashata. And we saw the Bhashya that Shankara had written. Right? Where was that? Dharman abhyude shreyasa hetubhutan chodana lakshanan asheshena karsnena pavanani papakshayakarani dharma rahasyani cha sarvashah sarvaprakarai shutva Yudhishthiro dharmaputrah shantanamam shantanuputram bhishmam sakala purushartha sadhanam sukhasampadhyam alpa prayasam analpa phalam anuktamiti kritva punah bhuya eva abhyabhashtah prashnam kritavan. He said dharma is that which gives you prosperity here and in hereafter. Or having listened to the totality of all the dharma from Bhishma, Yudhishthira, who had heard this totality of dharma, each of which is pavanani, pure, cleansing, papa kshayakarani, sin eradicating dharmas he has heard. Sarvaprakaraihi, all kinds of dharma, sarvasha, the totality of having heard. Yudhishthira, dharmaputra, went to ask Sri Bhishma. What did he ask? Sakala Purushartha Sadhanam. He wanted to know something which is the way of attaining Sakala Purushartham, the entirety of whatever, the most desirable thing, if it is to be attained. He wanted to know about how to attain that, which should be Sukha Sampadhyam, which should give ultimate happiness, which should be Alpa Prayasam. Alpa Prayasam means it should not be, which should be easy to do. Easy to do. Alpa Prayasam. Not very difficult. Analpa Phalam. But the fruits should be, it should be fantastic. It should not be small time fruits. Absolutely magnificent fruits should be there, but easy to do. That you have not told. Anuktamiti. Punaha bhuya eva abhyavasta prashnam kritava. This is what Shankara is beautifully says about it. And Bhattar, Parashara Bhattar, when he says about this is what Shutva Dharma Nasheshana says, who is Yudhishthira? Yeah, Sahasranamam Punareva Yudhishthira. Who is Yudhishthira? He says Sakshat Dharma Suno. He is Sakshat Dharmaputra. Now the Dharmaputra Sakshat has got a doubt. Not only is he, had he heard the whole of the Dharma, he is also himself Dharma Vigraha. He is Dharmaraja. He is Dharmaputra. Bhattar says this comes because, why? Dharmaputra, he has heard all the entire, not just, and also it has been told that, he has heard, Dhritarashtra himself says that he has heard from Bhishma, he has heard from Krishna, he has heard from Narada, he has heard from everybody about Dharma. Vyasa himself he has heard. Now he still has a doubt. Why? Bhattar beautifully says, Santohi acharyanishtham anvishya tadruchi parighridameva tattvam hitam cha rochayante natu pramanikatvam atre natu pramanikatvam atrena. My God. Santohi acharyanishtham anvishya tadruchi parighridameva. See, you may have told all the dharma, but what is your ruchi? Acharya's own ruchi is what? That you have to know. Acharya can tell you everything. But you as a student should also be keen to know what exactly is Acharya's own ruchi in this. What is it that he, in his own experience, because Acharya will tell you nothing that he has experienced. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he had tried every path. Every path was known to him, so he knows every path by experience. What is your personal? Ask there, you will find so many slokas, songs of Bengali which says Durga's name. Durga's, Kali's name. Like that, here. Santohi acharyanishtham anvishya tadruchi parighritameva. Parighritameva means he wants to take that from it. I want to take over from Acharya's hands. To grasp it from him. Tattvam hitam cha rochayante. They have a taste for it. They have a taste for actually understanding the experience of the Acharya. Natu pramanikatva matrena. Not because what is said has got the authority of any scripture. That it has. That it may be. That it well may be. But we want to know what is the ruchi of the Acharya also. That is why Yudhishthira, after having listened to all these dharmas, is still going with a question to Bhishma. Santaha, good people, sadhu purushas, are keen to know the personal feelings and experience of Acharya ruchi, and to take it for themselves as hitam, as desirable, not merely because it has Shastra Pramana. And he says, there is a goal, Upeya, and there's a method, Upaya. We saw Alpa Prayasam, Analpa Phalam, no? As Shankara has said, it should be easy to do, it should give a grade. Bhattar also says very similarly. Is Upeya is of three kinds. That is, the object that you want to realize is of three kinds. It's Priyam, Priyataram, Priyatamam. Priyam, Priyataram, desirable, more desirable, most desirable, most desirable. Priyatama is what you call a beloved, no? In the films, etc. Priyatama. So, most desirable. Priyatama. So, the Upeya should be Priyatama. And the Upaya is of three kinds. Hitam, Hitataram, Hitatamam. That is, the method should be agreeable or more agreeable or most agreeable. So, you must go for the combination of most agreeable method to get the most desirable result. So in the result, in Upeya, Bhattar says, you don't want a result which has got pain, which has got disease, which has got all those problems, right? Death. You don't want something which is temporary, 5 minutes of fame, then utter problems after that. You don't want that. You want happiness, you want permanence of happiness, you want to be always happy. You want prosperity, you don't want poverty, you want prosperity, you want good knowledge, you want permanence, all that you want, happiness. That's in terms of Upeya. And in terms of Upaya, in terms of method, you don't want to squander money, do you? I mean, If somebody says you can spend $1 million for moksha, you don't want to do it. I'd rather not have moksha, you'll say. Okay, so much money. You don't want to squander money. You don't want to stress yourself too much. Right? Every day you have to walk 80 miles, means you don't want to do it. You don't want to stress yourself too much. You don't want to have any doubt, will this work or not work? That uncertainty also should not be there. You try it like that, you don't want to. Okay? So the method should not have all these kinds of defects. On the contrary, it should not cost you anything, if possible. It should be quite certain. This will work, kind of thing. And it should be easy to do. No strain, no stress. This is the combination that you're looking for. This is butter. Priyatama upeya, hitatama upaya. Sutva dharmana sheshan pavanani cha sarvadha Yudhishthira shantanamam punareva abhyabhashata. Now, for this one shlokam, our acharyas explain it so beautifully. We can run past the shlokam. We can also take a moment to look at that ponds of nectar that the acharyas have given for each shlokam. We may not be competent to go into details of many. Some we'll see, like we saw now for the first shloka. So now we are on the set. Now Yudhishthira is listening. Yudhishthira is going to ask some questions. What does he ask? He asks 6 questions. What are they?